अस्सलाम वालेकुम जी, वेलकम बैक टू अनदर वीडियो इंग्लिश विद रही सर। आज के टॉपिक में हम बात करने वाले हैं W.H Auden यानी विस्टन ह्यूगडन की एक फेमस पोइम है ओ व्हाट इज़ दैट साउंड। अरे ओ ये किस चीज़ की आवाज़ है। ठीक है, तो आप लोगों ने इंशाल्लाह जो है इसमें सभी जो पॉइंट्स है इसमें वो क्लियर कर दिए जाएंगे। इसकी समरी, एनालिसिस, थीम्स, जो है इसका स्ट्रक्चर है, क्रिटिकल अप्रिसिएशन है, स्टैंजा बाय स्टैंजा इसकी जो हम डिटेल्स हैं वो एक्सप्लेन करेंगे। तो बिना टाइम वेस्ट करे वीडियो शुरू करते हैं। सबसे पहले जो है इसका अबाउट द पोइट देख लेते हैं कि विस्टन ह्यूगडन बॉर्न 1907 में पैदा हुए यॉर्क इंग्लैंड में। वो एक इंग्लिश और अमेरिकन पोइट थे जो अपनी टेक्निकल और स्टाइलिस्टिक अचीवमेंट्स की वजह से बड़े सराहे जाते थे। ही रोज टू फेम विद पोइम्स की वजह से वो मशहूर हुए, जो उन्होंने 1930 में पब्लिश करवाई थी। उनके मेजर जो वर्क्स है उसमें फ्यूनरल ब्लूज है, सितंबर 1 1939 में पब्लिश हुआ। द एज ऑफ एंग्जाइटी है, फॉर द टाइम बिंग है। इन्होंने पुलिट्जर प्राइज़ जीता पोइट्री में 1947 में द एज ऑफ एंग्जाइटी की वजह से। अ मैन बहुत कंट्रोवर्शियल एंड इन्फ्लुएंशियल। अर्डन जो है वो 1973 में कुदरती बीमारी की वजह से वो उनकी डेथ हो गई। उसके बाद जो है हम और भी देख लेते हैं इस पोइम का। व्हाट इज़ दैट साउंड ऑर्डन्स की पोएटिक कलेक्शन में पब्लिश हुई है लुक स्ट्रेंजर 1936 में। दिस बुक कंटेन्स पॉलिटिकल ओड्स, love poems, comic songs, meditative lyrics, and a variety of intellectually intensive verse. Auden's poem "Oh What Is That Sound" deals with some important themes that are important concerning the historical context. At that time, the world was facing the ravages of war. During this tumultuous situation, what the commoners thought, how they had reacted, and such other deep questions are present in this poem. The poem is in the ballad form and expresses the point of view of two voices which are more than likely a husband and wife hiding out in their house at a time of war. The main theme of the poem is that things may not be what they seem. इसके बाद इसकी जो है समरी वो देख लेते हैं। द स्पीकर ऑफ दिस पोइम hears a sound down in the valley from his home in the morning. अब सुबह का वक्त है, जो शायर है वो एक आवाज़ सुनता है। वो अपनी बीवी के साथ वो घर में है, जंग का खतरा है, जंग की वजह से वो छुपा हुआ है। यही आज की अपने बीवी से पूछता है कि व्हाट द साउंड वाज, ये आवाज़ किसकी थी। द स्पाउस रिप्लाइज की जवाब देती दैट इट वाज द मार्चिंग ऑफ सोल्जर, ये ना सिपाहियों की जो सुबह की परेड है वो पैदल चल रहे हैं। द रेस्ट ऑफ द पोइम कंटिन्यूज इन दिस कन्वर्सेशनल स्टाइल एक्सेप्ट फॉर द लास्ट स्टैंजा। आखिरी स्टैंजा के अलावा बाकी तमाम स्टैंजा जो हैं वो इसी गुफ्तगू के ऊपर हैं कि जिसमें वो दोनों कपल्स जो हैं हस्बैंड वाइफ आपस में डिस्कशन करते हैं इसी बेस पे कि ये आवाज़ किस चीज़ की है। द स्पीकर नेक्स्ट आस्क व्हाट द लाइट दैट कीप्स फ्लैशिंग, किस चीज़ की चमक है जो रोशनी से आ रही है। इट इज़ द ग्लिंट ऑफ देयर वेपन, ये उनके हथियारों की जो है वो चमक है। डेयर से द स्पाउस, जो उसकी बीवी को कहती है कि उनके हथियारों की जो है वो चमक है। सिमिलरली द स्पीकर कंटिन्यूज टू क्वेश्चन द एक्शंस ऑफ द सोल्जर्स, जो शायर है वो सिपाहियों की जो हरकतें हैं उनके बारे में मुसलसल सवाल करते जाता है इस पोइम में। एंड द स्पाउस गिव्स अप्रोप्रिएट आंसर, और उसकी बीवी जो है मुनासिब उसके जवाब देती रहती है। द सोल्जर्स ऑल द वाइल, जो सिपाही हैं वो तो कीप मार्चिंग टुवर्ड द स्पीकर्स हाउस, वो शायर के घर की तरफ अपने जो है चल के आ रहे हैं। द स्पीकर थिंक्स, जो है शायर सोचता है दैट दे वुड स्टॉप समवेयर, उन्हें कहीं रुक जाना चाहिए बिफोर, बट नो, लेकिन अभी तक नहीं। दे पास द डॉक्टर्स हाउस, वो डॉक्टर का घर से भी गुजर चुके हैं। एंड द पार्सन चर्च, और जो पादरियों का चर्च वगैरह है उसके पास से गुजर चुके हैं। एंड द क्यूनिंग फार्मर्स, और जो चलाक किसान है बार्न स्टेट टुवर्ड हिज हाउस, उसके घर के सामने से भी गुजर गए हैं। तो मतलब वो सारी जो जहाँ पर रुकना चाहिए था वो वहाँ से गुजर चुके हैं, तो उसको बड़ी हैरानी हो रही है कि ऐसा क्यों है। दिस स्पाउसेस, अभी उसकी दादी, दे आर लिविंग द स्पीकर नाउ, वो जा रहे हैं। एंड द स्पीकर afraid asked them in if the vows they took were all false. The spouse replies that they are all true, but still they must leave. And then the soldier break the door and come into the house with burning eyes. उसके बाद जो घर का दरवाज़ा खुलता है और वो सिपाही जो हैं जलती हुई आंखों के साथ दाखिल होते हैं। अब इसका स्ट्रक्चर देख लेते हैं। The poem is in ballad form and consists of 7 stanzas. Being a ballad, each stanza consists of 4 rhyming lines in each quatrain. 4-line stanza. The poet has used a conventional rhyme scheme. It is not that of typical ballad stanza. Here, the poet uses the AB rhyme scheme instead of the ABCB rhyme scheme. The latter rhyming scheme is used in conventional ballad form. Apart from that, the lines rhyme alternately and capture two voices. Along with that, the poet uses repetition and internal rhyming of maintaining the flow and rhythm of the poem. Besides, the overall poem is composed in iambic pentameter, iambic tetrameter, and iambic diameter alternately. There are also some metric variation in this poem. इसके बाद जो हम इसका थीम देख लेते हैं. The poem Over is that song gives the reader a first-hand experience of how something may seem like another thing from far. एक चीज़ दूर से कुछ और लगती है, पास से कुछ और लगती है. When examined closely, it is entirely different. जब हम पास से देखते हैं तो बिल्कुल यकसा मुख्तलिफ लगती है अक्सर. This phenomenon of things may not be what they seem occurs twice in the poem. First, with the thrilling sound being the dreaded sound of soldiers marching, and secondly, with the marriage. The husband and wife spoke to each other daringly throughout the poem, so it seemed like there was much love between the two. However, towards the end of the poem, the husband leaves her once again, reaffirming that things are not necessarily what they appear to be. In literature, this theme is also known as appearance as reality. Towards the end of the poem, the husband deserts his wife out of fear of the soldier, and this exemplifies the second most important theme. Apart from the word that Auden is addressing, which is the concept of human nature, two individuals can love one another, but when it comes to life or death situation, a person nearly always chooses himself or herself. एनालिसिस में देख लेते हैं. Speaker start with the speaker hearing drumming noises from the valley, and the speaker's spouse says that it was just the scarlet soldiers coming. The use of scarlet here is not expanded in meaning. It could mean that the soldiers were bloody after fighting, or that they were the ones who killed are going to kill. The light glinting of their weapons shows that the soldier most probably had a purpose of their march. It is said that they step lightly, which is to indicate that they increase the pace of the train. The foreshadowing in the poem makes its presence acute from here on. This spouse says that they were either training or good doing the march as a warning. The soldier suddenly turn off course, and this makes the speaker of the poem kneel down. It is unclear whether he was doing so in prayer or in order to hide, but we get the idea that there is possibility that the soldiers are there of the speaker. The soldiers don't stop at the doctor's house, which eliminates the possibility that the scarlet in stanza 1 means bloody. The soldiers do not stop at the parson's house either. There is an increasing urgency in the voice of the speaker. This indicates his hope against the hope that the soldiers were there were some other people. This idea is commented when he describes the farmer as cunning. The speaker was so desperate that he started wildly accusing and guessing other possibilities. The soldiers start running after passing the farmer's house. At this point, the spouse realizes that the soldiers are here for the significant half, but that doesn't stop them from leaving in this moment of crisis. This is shown in the penultimate stanza where the speaker pleads for the spouse to stay, holding them to the vows they exchanged during their wedding. What this doesn't say with the spouse. They say that they will love the speaker, but they must be leaving. The narrative, which was in the conversational style till now, returns to a single voice in the last stanza. The soldier break the door and come for the speaker, and the poem ends here, leaving the readers speculating that what happened next. It might be guessed that whatever it was not anything pleasant to the speaker, seeing his previous frightened state and the burning eyes the soldier bore. The speaker of the poem avoids the truth for as long as possible. They have an idea of their deeds, and that someday they will catch up to them, but they remain inactive in light of the faint chance that it was not there for them, that the soldiers were coming for. This avoidance of the truth ended up in them being betrayed by their spouse. Whereas, if acted upon earlier, they could both have a chance of escaping together. लास्ट पे इसकी एक्सप्लेनेशन देख लेते हैं स्टैंजा बाय स्टैंजा विद उर्दू. Oh, what is that sound which is so thrills the air down in the valley, drumming only the scarlet soldiers there, the soldiers coming. वो कौन सी आवाज़ है जो कानों को सनसनी देती है. नीचे वादी में ढोल बजाना हो रही है. सिर्फ सुर्ख रंग के सिपाही प्यारे प्यारे फौजी आ रहे हैं. अब इसकी जो एक्सप्लेनेशन देखते हैं. The first quatrain of what is that sound reveals that the poem consists of two individuals conversing with each other. The first voice inquires about a sound that is drumming, and the second voice replies very casually that it is just the soldier. The fact that the reply is very casual tells readers that these individuals have been in a state of war for quite some time, and it is now the norm for them. However, hearing the soldiers drumming is a rather new phenomenon. Auden uses the repetition of the word drumming so to craft an image of marching soldiers. The soldiers are described as scarlet. This could be a direct reference to their faces flushed with the task of marching for long periods, or rather it could refer to the uniform that the soldiers carry. दूसरा स्टैंजा में इसकी देखते हैं. Now what is that light I see flashing so clear over the distance, brightly, only the sun on their weapons there as they step lightly. वो रोशनी क्या है जो मुझे चमकती हुई साफ नजर आ रही है, फासले पर चमकीली, इनके तारों पर सिर्फ सूरज अजीज जैसे वो हल्के से कदम रखते हैं. The second part is another question posed by the first voice. This time it becomes clear that the second voice is trying to calm the first voice by taking the situation very easily. The second voice says that what it sees are just the weapons of the soldiers reflecting sunlight as they tread lightly. It is clear from the first stanza that the soldiers are not treading lightly. They are marching loudly. This stanza brings to light the fearful state that two individuals are in. Third stanza में इसकी उर्दू देखते हैं. What are they doing with all that gear? What are they doing this morning? Only their usual maneuvers, dare or perhaps a warning. वो इस सारे सामान के साथ क्या कर रहे हैं? वो आज सुबह क्या कर रहे हैं? सिर्फ उनकी मामूली की चालें अजीज, या शायद एक इंतबाह है, वार्निंग है. In the third stanza, what is that sound supports the fact that the first voice is in a state of fear. Therefore, this first voice is growing desperate, inquiring what the soldiers are doing this morning. The second voice remains persistently hopeful, stating that perhaps they are just giving them a warning of attack, as if to say, surely they are not going to launch a real attack. In this way, the second assures his companion that there is no imminent danger approaching them or of their spouse. She can remain calm without thinking much about the external sound. Fourth stanza, over why have they left the road down here? Why are they suddenly wheeling? Perhaps a change in their orders. Dear, why are you kneeling? वो सड़क क्यों छोड़ गए हैं? वो अचानक व्हीलिंग क्यों कर रहे हैं? शायद इनके हुक्म में तब्दीली आ जाए अजीज, आप घुटने क्यों टेक रहे हैं? In the fourth stanza, the first voice realizes that the soldiers are indeed heading towards their area. She observes their movements as they have left the road. She asks her partner why they are doing so. Therefore, the first voice kneels as if to protect herself. However, the second voice remains in Daniel, inquiring why she is kneeling, as if there is no fear of harm at all. From this stanza, it becomes clear that the second voice of the husband is somehow trying to deceive his wife by giving her fake assurances. The following stanzas illustrate this fact clearly. Fifth stanza. Oh, have not they stopped for the doctor's care? Have not they reined their horses? Why they are none of them wounded? Dare none of their forces? क्या वो डॉक्टर की देखभाल के लिए नहीं रुके? क्या उन्होंने अपने घोड़ों पर लगाम नहीं लगाई? क्यों? वो इनमें से कोई जख्मी नहीं अजीज, कुव्वतों में से कोई नहीं. The following stanzas consist of the first individual going through a storm of panic and rapidly questioning the partner. The questions are Auden's creative way of keeping readers informed by the whereabouts of the soldiers, and they create an air of anxiety and panic as the soldiers are coming closer, passing the doctor, the parson, and the foreman. However, in the fifth stanza, the wife asks her husband whether the soldiers have stopped for the doctor's care. She can see they have reined their horses, but she cannot believe her eyes. Within no time, the soldiers will be there at their place. For this reason, she wants some assurance from her husband regarding the fact. Therefore, the husband replies that none of them are wounded, none of the forces are there, so she can feel relaxed. Sixth stanza, oh, is it the person they want with white hair? Is it the person? Is it? No, they are passing his gateway there without a visit. ये वही पारस है जो वो चाहते हैं सफेद बालों के साथ. क्या ये पार्सन है? क्या ये है? नहीं, वो इसके गेटवे से गुजर रहे हैं अजीज, विजिट किए बगैर. In the sixth stanza, oh, what is that sound? The wife sees the soldiers are waiting in front of the parson's house. She thinks they want him for some reason, hence she asks her husband what they are doing in front of the parson's house. Hearing her, the husband negates the fact. According to him, they are just passing the parson's gateway. They have not visited his house. Reading this section, it seems that the soldiers have visited the house. They might have taken him with them. The husband has seen those events, but he does not wish to tell anything about it to his wife. Seventh stanza. Oh, it must be the farmer who lives so near. It must be the farmer so cunning, so cunning. They have passed the farmyard already there, and now they are running. वो किसान होना चाहिए जो इतने गरीब रहता है. ये किसान इतना होशियार, इतना चालाक होना चाहिए. वो पहले खेती बाड़ी से गुजर चुके हैं प्यारे, अब वो भाग रहे हैं. Thereafter, the wife asks, think that if the soldiers have not visited the parson's house, they might be going to visit the farm's house. The farmer's house is nearby to that of the parson's. Moreover, she thinks as the farmer is a cunning fellow, he might have already left. Again, the second voice, that of the husband, starts laying. He says that they had visited the farmer's house. Without saying anything further, he says the soldiers are passing up. He does not make anything clear to his wife. Nothing is clear concerning their destination or the cause of running. Oh, where are you going? Stay with me here. Were the vows you swore deceiving. Now I promised to love you, dear, but I must be leaving. कहाँ जा रहे हो? यहाँ मेरे साथ रहो. क्या तुमने जो कस्में खाई थी वो धोखा फरेब थी? नहीं, मैंने तुमसे मोहब्बत का करने का वादा किया था प्यारे. But I must be leaving. लेकिन मुझे अब छोड़ना पड़ेगा. The final two stanzas are truly tragic as they reveal that it was indeed a couple that was hiding out in their house. The second voice inquires as to why the first voice is leaving her and running out of the spot. The second voice questions about the vows that the first voice had made to love her forever. These vows are most likely referring to the vows made during wedding ceremonies. The role of the voices is still unclear, which of one is the husband and which one is wife. But looking at how the poem was written in the 19th centuries, women were not very bold and were known for being timid, so we may assume the first voice is the voice wife and the second voice, the voice that now left, is the voice of the husband. In ninth stanza, last stanza. Oh, it's broken the lock and splintered the door. Oh, it's the gate where they are turning. Their boots are heavy on the floor. Their boots are heavy on the floor and their eyes are burning. इसने थोड़ा दरवाज़ा तोड़ दिया. वो दरवाज़ा है जो जहाँ वो मुड़ रहे हैं. इनके जूते फर्श पर भारी हैं और इनकी आंखें जल रही हैं. The final stanza are truly tragic as they reveal that it was indeed a couple that were hiding out in their house. The second voice inquires as to why the first voice is leaving her and running out of the house. The second voice questions about the vows that the first voice had made to love her forever. These vows are most likely referring to the vows made during wedding ceremonies. The role of the voices is still unclear. Which one is the husband and which one is the wife? But looking at how the poem was written in the 19th, women were not very bold and were known for being timid. So we can assume the first voice is the wife and the second voice that is the husband. So this is all about today's lecture. So we were discussing about a famous poem, or what is that sound, written by W.H Auden. सो इन उर्दू अगर मैं आपको बताऊँ तो इस पोइम का बेसिकली जो पर्पस है, बेसिकली बैकग्राउंड है, ओवरव्यू है, इसकी जो डिटेल है वो ये है कि एक हस्बैंड और उसके वाइफ जो हैं वो एक घर में अपने आप को छुपाए हुए हैं. जंग वगैरह का समा है, जंग लगी हुई है. तो जो हस्बैंड है वो सिपाही है, बेसिकली सिपाही है. तो उसको जो है अपने साथियों की आवाज़ जो आती है, वो उनके बूटों की, उनकी गरज चमक की, उनके चलने की, उनकी जो है वेपन्स की जो चमक है वो सारी उसको आसपास तो सुनाई देती. तो लेकिन उसकी वाइफ जो है वो उसको बता रही है कि नहीं, ये कुछ और नॉर्मल रूटीन है, ये जंग के लिए नहीं जा रहे, ये वैसे ही चल फिर रहे हैं, तुम परेशान ना हो, तो ऐसे कुछ नहीं है. तो पोइम के आखिरी स्टैंजा तक जो है, आखिरी स्टैंजा से पहले तक, सेकंड लास्ट तक जो ये वही जो है उसकी वाइफ उसको कंसोल करती रहती है, ऐसे बताती रहती है कि ये नॉर्मल एक गश्त कर रहे हैं, चल फिर रहे हैं तो आप परेशान हैं। बट एट द लास्ट जब वो उसके घर के सामने अंदर एंटर होते हैं तब उसको पता चलता है कि ये मेरे साथी सिपाही हैं जो जंग के लिए जा रहे हैं। तो फिर वो जल्दी से जंग के लिए तैयार हो जाता है और चलने की निकल पड़ता है। तो उसकी वाइफ जो है उससे नाराज़ होने लगती है कि तुमने तो मुझसे मोहब्बत की थी, वादा किया था। तो उन्हें जाकर उसने बताया कि जो जंग है वो ज़्यादा अहम है मोहब्बत से। तो यहाँ पे जो है वो पोइम का एंड होता है। तो बेसिकली इसका मकसद यही था कि मतलब ज़िम्मेदारी का एहसास जो है वो ज़्यादा अहम है। बाकी जो है वक्ती चीज़ें हैं वो पहले भी की जा सकती हैं, बाद में की जा सकती हैं, बट टाइमली जो ज़्यादा अहम था वो उसके लिए वो ये था कि अपने जो है वो साथ वाले जो सिपाहियों के साथ वो जंग के लिए उसने जाना था। तो जो इसका वो जज्बा है, जो इसकी वो वतन के लिए मोहब्बत है, बेसिकली वो जो है राइटर ने जो पोइट है वेस्टर्न होगडन ने वो दिखाया। तो आज के लेक्चर में हम इसके बारे में हमने सभी चीज़ें डिस्कस की। आपको फिर भी कोई क्वेश्चन हो तो आप कमेंट बॉक्स में बता सकते हैं। आप तमाम लेक्चर्स को लाजमी तौर पे देखा करें, शेयर किया करें आगे दोस्तों के साथ, आके आपके जो हैं बाकी दोस्त वो भी उनको भी डाटा वगैरह मिलता रहे आप उनके जो टॉपिक के रिलेटेड। और बाकी आपने चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना है, वीडियोस को लाइक करना है, वॉच करना है, कमेंट करना है और शेयर करना है, और बेल आइकन को ज़रूर दबाना ताकि आपको हर आने वाली वीडियो का नोटिफिकेशन मिलता रहे। तो आज की वीडियो में बस इतना ही। मज़ीद वीडियोज़ के लिए आप हमारे चैनल इंग्लिश विद रहील सर के साथ जुड़े रहिए। थैंक यू सो मच। अल्लाह हाफिज़।